Speaking of Tank, yeah, what's going on? Is he returning this year?
Wait and see.
Gervonta Davis gears up for a December clash with Lamont Roach, sparking criticism for potential cherry-picking. Meanwhile, former CEO of Mayweather Promotions Leonard Ellerbe is confident that Tank Davis will announce his return to boxing at the right moment. He also hinted that talks are underway regarding Tank's next fight, suggesting that plans are already in motion for his comeback.
Just hadn't seen him go in his bag yet.
Speaking of Tank, yeah, what's going on? Is he returning this year?
Wait and see.
Oh, come on, Leonard.
Wait and see.
You're fairly confident it will be this year.
Well, I'm very confident that when he's ready to go, he's going to let the boxing world know.
All right.
Gervonta Davis, the powerhouse of the lightweight division, is out here looking for his next big challenge. After taking some time off following last year's heated showdown with Ryan Garcia, the WBA champ made his return to the ring this past June, eager to shake off any leftover rust. Now, with December locked in as his next target, Davis originally had his sights set on a unification clash with Vasyl Lomachenko. But, as the negotiations dragged on, the Matrix decided to take a step back and focus on family, leaving Davis to search for a new opponent. Currently, word on the street, courtesy of Michael Benson, has Lamont Roach, the current WBA super featherweight champion, stepping up as the top contender for Davis's next WBA lightweight title fight in December. Jose Rayo Valenzuela is also in the mix, though Benson's post on X hints that Roach might have the edge. He stated, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach is reportedly now the frontrunner for Tank's next fight in November or December, with Jose Rayo Valenzuela also a possibility. But that's not the whole story. There was another name thrown into the hat, Edwin de los Santos, the former opponent of Shakur Stevenson. In an interview with Mill City Boxing, Santos's trainer and manager, Humberto Chelo Betancourt, confirmed that Davis's camp had reached out for a potential fight. They even started preparing for Tank, getting ready to throw down. However, when boxing legend Zab Judah pressed Betancourt on why the fight didn't go through, Chelo kept it real, saying they chose Lamont Roach. Judah remarked that Davis's choice made perfect sense, to which Chelo replied, "Hey, I ain't knocking him. It is a good fight, 130 going up to 135. Why would you fight somebody who is a natural 135-pounder? This leads to an important point, S. Santos is a true 135-pounder, holding down most of his fights in the lightweight division, including his bout with Stevenson in December 2023. Roach, on the other hand, is the reigning WBA super featherweight champ, making his debut in the lightweight division if the fight with Davis is finalized. Roach's jump from 130 to 135 pounds to face Davis, who's right at home in the lightweight category, might make him an easier target for Davis than the naturally heavier Santos. In the middle of all this, Davis had a slick comeback for the champion in recess from the super lightweight division, who was out there mocking his potential opponent's choice. Davis, as always, keeps it sharp both in and out of the ring. Moreover, Rayo Valenzuela calls out Tank for being selective about fighting at 140 or 135. He thinks Tank would take the fight at 140 if the money and situation are right, emphasizing that fighters just need things to make sense.
It's difficult to make, but I'm open to it if they're down and the fans want it.
What do you think about that? The fact that Tank, who's fought at 140 before, seems a little bit selective about when he fights at 140 or when he fights at 135. Like, do you think he would fight you at 140? And if not, why?
I think he would. He's a fighter. I think it all just has to make sense, so as long as it makes sense.
Rayo mentions that there haven't been any official talks about a fight happening at a specific weight class. He was asked about the possibility of fighting at 135, but nothing serious came out of it. It was more of a quick, casual ask rather than a real offer being put on the table. On the contrary, Greg Hackett shuts down the talk about Tank cherry-picking Roach, saying they both went toe-to-toe with the same dudes, like Hector Garcia, so they're on the same level. It might not have the hype of a Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney fight, but it's still real and worth watching.
It would be a rematch from the amateurs. I don't know how many times they fought.
Right.
But dudes are saying like, oh, he bringing up another fighter. While I understand,
Right.
It's like they talking like Tank ain't start his career off at 26. He ain't no huge 35.
And let's be real, they both fought Hector Garcia. So the reason I brought that up is because the level of boxing. Tank only fought him like what, a year and a half ago, 2 years? He fought Hector Garcia.
Yeah.
So then you got
Lamont fought him right after Tank.
So that's what I'm saying. So that is the same level of boxing. So how can we say Tank picking when this guy has a title? You know what I mean? They have a history, they know each other. But I think the only thing missing is that flair.
Greg Hackett is breaking down why some folks don't get the hype around Lamont Roach. He says that people who know boxing and know Lamont see this as a solid fight. The problem is Lamont just doesn't have that flashy style. He's more of a calm, laid-back guy, not someone who gives off that mean or intimidating vibe. On the other hand, you've got Tank Davis, who looks the part with the tattoos, crazy eyes, and a whole lot of attitude. It's like Lamont tries to be tough, but it doesn't fully come through, so he doesn't get the same hype. Hackett added, he going to put all the extra shit into it, come in with the outfit on, all that. So Tank come with the flair. Lamont, just a cool boy, but he can fight. He really can fight, and he is a champion. Meanwhile, Haven Brady Jr. weighs in on the Gervonta Davis vs. Lamont Roach fight rumors. He's hyped, saying if the bout goes down at 135, it could shake things up.
I feel like he gonna come out, he gonna come out swinging a little hard, a little wild. I feel like first couple rounds, I'm gonna slow him down with the jab, isolate him with the jab, and start breaking him down to the body. I give you 5 or 6 out of there.
Yo, you seem to fight tall fighters really well.
Right.
It's like the short guys, I ain't gonna say you struggle with, but they're a harder fight.
Yeah.
The tall guys is like you used to it.
Definitely, cause I'm always used to fighting taller guys, and I'm a short guy for my weight class, so it'd be like when you find somebody short, it'd be like they be so naggy, and I'm so used to punching up high and stuff, and certain stuff. I spar a lot of tall guys and way bigger guys, so when I get in there with somebody smaller, it kind of I have to get used to it and adjust to it. So definitely.
Similarly, Bowsy Ennis considers the Roach vs. Tank Davis fight competitive, but leans towards Tank winning. He advises Roach to avoid trading punches, box smartly, move, and frustrate Tank, though he notes it's challenging due to Tank's shot-setting skills.
It's rumored that Lamont Roach is the backup plan to Gervonta Davis if he doesn't fight Rayo Valenzuela.
Right.
What you think of that fight?
But Lamont
and Tank.
I think that's be a good fight, man. I think it'd be a good fight, man. Him and Tank. I think that'd be a real good fight, man. You know what I mean? I think I would have to go with Tank, though. I would have to go with Tank. You know what I mean? But I think it'd be a real good fight. You know what I mean?
Lamont will be moving up. What would he have to do to make that fight competitive?
Oh, he moving up?
Yeah, it would be. He's the champion at 30.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have to go with Tank with that. He's moving up, yeah.
Bowsy Ennis talks about what it takes to go up against Tank Davis. He says you can't just stand there and trade punches with Tank or you'll be in trouble. Instead, you've got to move around, box smart, and tie him up whenever you can to mess with his flow. The trick is to frustrate him and catch him when he drops his guard. But that's easier said than done because Tank is really good at setting up his shots. Bowsy points out that Tank isn't just a heavy hitter. He knows how to box really well, which makes him a tough guy to beat in the ring. Ennis added, Tank will set you up. Like I said, he knows how to set you up, and also, like I tell people, Tank can box when he wants to box. Moreover, pro boxer Angelo Leo shared his take on who stands out in the 135-pound division. Having gone toe-to-toe with both, Leo offers a first-hand comparison of their skills, strengths, and styles.
First question, I'm sure you saw the setup. Shakur and Tank, you're one of the few that have actual insight, just pure sparring, right? But while you're getting prepared for your fight with arguably the best guy in the division, that division hasn't solidified who's the best. Do you have an insight of maybe Shakur and Tank, if they did face each other, who would win?
Personally, I like Tank a little bit more. He's a very smart fighter. He's very smart. He's very cunning.
Angelo Leo gave major props to Tank Davis, saying he's not just a heavy hitter and counterpuncher, but also a sharp technician. Leo pointed out that Tank knows how to time his shots perfectly, showing off his strategic skills in the ring. He also talked about how dealing with bigger fighters is tough, noting that he plays it smart by focusing on defense and treating each fight like a chess match, carefully reading and countering every move. In addition, boxing trainer Robert Garcia shared his thoughts with Fight Hype, expressing his belief that Davis is currently unbeatable at the 135-pound division. Garcia stated, "He's unbelievable, man. I think Tank at this point is unbeatable at the lightweight division against any of the world champions." He further emphasized Davis's status as the top contender in the division, praising his recent performance. Garcia highlighted Davis's timing, power, and accuracy, describing him as having everything and calling him a perfect fighter right now. Meanwhile, Jose Benavidez Sr. expressed his pleasure towards Gervonta Davis and his team for including his son on the same card, once again during Riyadh season on December 21st.
David went on a podcast, Fresh and Fit, and kind of talked about potentially him and Gervonta Davis being on the same card, and he's moving up to 175 to fight Alexander.
Yeah, they're going to come up with a date. But yeah, he's fighting in the same card with Gervonta Davis. It's an honor, it's a pleasure.
Benavidez Sr. further shared his thoughts on the supercard that is about to unleash two monsters. It's honor, it's a pleasure fighting with an animal like Tank also, so two beasts fighting in the same card. I think it's going to be super exciting. It's going to be one of the biggest cards. Reflecting on Lamont Roach's last fight, Chris Algieri praises Roach's sharpness and flawless technique. He dominated the early rounds, hurting McClay multiple times with precise left hooks. Despite McClay's toughness, Roach's adaptability and focused strategy set him apart, making a strong statement in the 130-pound division.
Lamont Roach, 7th round stoppage to, Padraig McCrory? I hope I said that right.
Fergal.
Oh, Fergal McCrory. Padraig is the one that fought Berlanga. What was your thoughts on the performance?
I thought he looked really sharp. I mean, there's no holes in his game. You know, he came out looking super sharp with the left hook. He was able to hurt McCrory multiple times in the first couple rounds. McCrory battled back though, man. He's an Irish warrior. He came in here fully prepared, in great shape. He looked big, he looked strong. But there's just different levels. And, Roach was just on a different level tonight. He was very dialed in. You could see his face in between rounds, very focused on what he wanted to do.
Algieri points out that Lamont Roach entered the fight with a clear and well-defined strategy, aiming for aggressive, close-quarters combat, or as he put it, fighting in the foam booth. Roach's objective was to outbox McClay, who had a reputation as a pressure fighter. Algieri mentions that in earlier interviews on ProBox TV, Roach had expressed his intent to approach this fight with bad intentions, emphasizing his focus on securing a knockout. Roach felt that his power was often underestimated, and he was determined to prove his capabilities by striving for a decisive finish. In the end, he successfully achieved this goal against a notably tough opponent. Jarrett Hurd gives props to Lamont Roach for his tactical game against Firgal McCrory in the 7th round, switching up his punches and attacking the body like a pro. He also talks about the pressure of defending a title at home and the focus needed to block out all the noise.
Think about, man, how's it? Your man Lamont Roach, what was that, 7th round? 8th round. Man, he looked good, man. Look, his first title defense, he killed that shit at home, too. Yo, did you expect to fight in the trenches? Like, I thought he was going to outbox him on the outside. To be honest, I never seen too much of the guy before, so I think it, man. So I really don't know how he was going to come out, but he took his time, man. He changed the level of the speed of his punches. He was touchy, going to the body. He picked up when he saw a guy hurt, man. He was out there to perform.
Jarrett Hurd provides a detailed assessment of Lamont Roach's performance, characterizing it as both strong and effective. He highlights that Roach adhered closely to his fight plan, executing his strategy successfully and achieving a knockout, which was the intended outcome. Hurd describes the performance as terrific, suggesting that Roach showcased a high level of skill and tactical acumen to secure a clear and decisive victory in the match. Similarly, Greg Hackett describes the Lamont Roach versus Firgal McCrory fight as one of the best rumbles he's seen in a long time. He notes that McCrory applied pressure from the start, which was unusual for Lamont Roach, who typically prefers a slower, more strategic pace. This unexpected aggression added intensity to the match.
I can't pronounce his first name, but McCrory.
Yeah, I did have it down pat, but then I lost it.
Yeah, in the Firgal McCrory in the 8th round. What's your thoughts on the performance?
Man, listen, that was one of the best rumbles I've seen in a long time. That was a back and forth rumble because McCrory applied pressure from the beginning of the fight.
Greg talks about how he was a bit concerned about Lamont Roach handling McCrory's fast pace, since it's not Roach's usual style. He typically likes to take things slow and break his opponent down. In this fight, Roach was forced to go all out, and he was ready for it. Greg mentions a key moment in the 2nd round when Roach landed a strong uppercut, knocking McCrory down, though McCrory got back up and kept fighting. The two went back and forth, with Roach knocking him down 2 more times. Greg was surprised that McCrory made it to the 8th round. Eventually, it was McCrory's corner that stopped the fight, which showed how intense the match was. McCrory had been undefeated up until this fight, so Roach's victory was a big deal, especially for a hometown crowd. Greg points out that McCrory might have had a better chance if he fought smarter and more patiently, but overall, Roach handled the pressure well, landing solid counters, hooks, and uppercuts. It was an action-packed fight that had everyone on the edge of their seats. Hackett added, the pace of the fight, he was pushing the fight, and the pressure was incredible. Lamont Roach was able to handle it. He was countering. He was landing little short shots to open up big shots. The left hook was on point. The uppercut was on point. I mean, what more could you ask for? What are your thoughts on Gervonta Davis's choice of opponent? Do you think it's a good matchup, or were you hoping for someone different? Share your opinions in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest boxing updates and in-depth analysis.